start it. Let's
get it.
Man. Welcome to Living with Dan and Danny, also known as the Dan and Danny Show. As always, I am Danny.
As always, I am the star of the show. Today, we
have a name, star of the show.
Star of the show. Like, if you know me. But, for those that say first time tuning in, before I introduce our esteemed guest, my name is Dan. Nice to meet you all.
Hey, thank you, man.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Today, we have the lovely Carimar.
Cari B.
Introducing her through her music videos and her beautiful voice. I don't know if she's going to give us a treat or not singing on the mic today.
Got to.
We'll see. But, yeah. Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So, as y'all know, my name is Carimar. I live here in Charlotte. I've been here since, 2008 with my parents. We moved from Florida, but I was born in Boston, so kind of up and down the East Coast. I work your regular 9-to-5 job in corporate up and uptown. I do logistics and distribution and all that fun stuff. But myself, I'm just a creative out here, a dreamer. Yeah. I'd say all those things. And yeah, I just am searching for that next thing in my life to kind of grow from.
Can you tell us about those dreams that you have?
Yeah, I think for the most part, that dream is freedom, right? I think that's everybody's main esteem. What are the things that I can do to just be free and make a life for myself where I'm comfortable, but also not only for my family, but for the people around me. And so for me, that's been able to manifest in making music. You know what I mean? And it's channeled into music, but I think the original thing is writing. Writing has been the thing that has carried me through my whole entire life.
Really? So did you start as a child in elementary school, or what shaped that? Where that began?
Yeah. Funny enough, I actually have my first little clipboard when I was in the first grade, and I started writing then. I have songs that I wrote to no beat, no nothing. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't even know how they go nowadays. You know what I mean? But I still have that I'm very sentimental, so I like to keep things like that.
Thank you, man. My friends call me a hoarder. I keep literally everything. They get on me about that, but I'm no, I'm nostalgic. When I'm 50, I want to be oh yeah, I did do that.
Exactly.
I did have that. It's just
because it's just a channel of who you were at that point in time. Yeah. So it's I think it's important to keep that. But yeah, I think through elementary school, I just remember my 3rd grade class, one of my teachers, she was you have a firework on your pen, you're just writing away, and I still have those writings. You know what I mean? And I've just been ever since, just writing poetry, middle school, and spoken word in college, and just kind of went from there.
Were you always open to sharing it, or was it something you held near and dear to yourself?
Definitely near and dear to myself. I had one friend in elementary, middle school that she would write to, so we would share our pieces with one another. And I think maybe I shared it with another friend, but for the most part, I kept it to myself, I guess, until I felt fully safe with somebody to share. I had a teacher in middle school that she would give us a lot of prompts and stuff to write. And so then I would show her my other writings, and she would write notes on them and tell me how I can get better and things
That's
like
dope.
that.
It's inspiring.
Yeah. I wonder where she is now. But
shout out to her, man. No,
it's February.
That was her name?
Yeah.
Miss February.
Yeah. She was I think she was South African, I believe.
That's dope.
That's fire. Dope. You gotta look her up on Facebook.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to find her.
I've never seen the last name of February before.
Nah, you gotta be able to find her.
That's crazy. When does that? Where does that name even come from? February.
South Africa.
Apparently.
No, that's dope, because I was gonna ask what triggered you to make you feel safe to share it, but it was a teacher that sort of put the battery in your back.
Yeah. And it's I think even just now that kind of re-clicked that I didn't give her enough of that at the time, because it's you're in middle school and you're just a badass little
kid. Yeah, you're just a kid.
Kind of going around, but she was definitely pretty pivotal, especially in the mind space that I was during that time. she definitely held like a safe space for me for sure.
So how did, the contents of what you were writing and the confidence in which you were writing it in change from then until now as you progressed to music?
I think then it was definitely just like a straight up outlet, just a straight
Whatever's
outlet.
going on.
Yeah, what was going on, and there was just a lot I think going on in like the household, and I didn't have other ways, playing sports or like doing this or that. That writing was the only way that like I could speak and like it would be okay. Like nobody's gonna judge this paper and pencils. Not gonna judge me.
Did you have an outlet growing up?
I used to write, like I had a journal, and I've always been better at communicating how I feel or interpreting thoughts through writing. And as a kid, I would write a lot, more so whenever I got like angry or upset about something. So that was my outlet. Outside of that, like sports was an outlet for me as a kid. Like I was always outside or doing something, and at the time like I was thinking I was going to the major, so
Yeah.
I'm baseball 24/7, but when I think about like as far as processing an emotion and like deep thoughts, I will always find myself writing. But that got weaker as I got older with like I think technology and stuff. And I also took away the importance of it. Like I thought like, I'll just remember it if it's important, and then come back to it like, damn, I should have wrote that down. So I've started now, like getting back to just to writing and capturing those type of things, because it is good to look back on. Yeah.
Man, goodness. I had sports as expression, but I never wrote. I'm thinking I didn't have an outlet until probably my early 20s when I moved to DC. I was living by myself, it's like, well, I don't have nobody to talk to. I don't have nobody to hang out with, so
Talking to yourself.
Exactly. And that was an outlet, and that's like how it begun until I started journaling, which I've definitely fallen off from. But and then music for me, but the only way that was outlet when it came to like women or trying to sound cool. I'm a better rapper, so let me see if I can brag. So, but outside of that, just like anger and stuff like that, didn't really have one. Again, I don't think I was really an angry child like that, but even still didn't have a way. So glad that you both did, and I'm glad that I'm there now. But I think that's probably something important to stress to, I guess to youth coming up, having an outlet and a place to get everything off your chest.
Yeah, because if you don't bring it out, it just stays in your head and it marinates and it creates all these kind of things, and it's like it just needs to be put somewhere, like out in the world somewhere. Even if you don't speak it to a person, at least this paper, this pen, like knows what it is you got.
Yeah, a safe space. To your point, like can't imagine just being, a kid just growing up, just feel like you have nowhere to go, like not even like a piece of paper. It's like drive you crazy. Could you speak to how your heritage and just like your family played a role in who you are today in your music as well?
Yeah, definitely. I will give kudos to my dad. Both of my parents are Dominican. They immigrated here in like their 30s, like 33, 34. And my dad, he did all the schooling, like undergrad accounting, masters, all that stuff. My mom, she worked. But, you come to this country and it's like, and you start from ground zero. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like working all kind of ridiculous kind of jobs. That's because crazy. That doesn't equate to anything here. You know, the degree doesn't mean anything. And also not knowing, I mean, how could he know where he could find, because you need money. Yeah. You just find what you can to go. Yeah. So what I will say is like he being so traditional and like this older person, like he had like a whole like arsenal. That's what it is. Arsenal of CDs of all types of genres that like still is crazy to me to this day. Like, I mean, it ranges from everything. The only thing he didn't have is like hip hop and rap. That's the one thing he was like, I don't do cursing, so no.
Yeah.
They got some big Willie.
Yeah.
No Will Smith. No Will Smith.
Let's not act like Will Smith ain't have a couple hits now.
He did.
Let's not act like he ain't had no.
Did he have a hit?
What?
I mean,
Come
You
on
don't think
now.
I did like just the two of us. I didn't know what sampled at the time, but
It's still a hit.
it's still.
it's cool.
Getting jiggy with it is a hit. Was a
Oh
hit.
yeah.
It was a hit. That's timeless.
All right,
gotta
I'm
give it-
outnumbered.
you
I'm
gotta give it
outnumbered.
to him.
I'm outnumbered. It was cool at the time. It didn't age well. It was cool. I give him that. It was cool. Will, don't
Do that
slap
to
me.
Will. Don't do that
It's
to
cool.
Will. He's
Yeah.
been through a lot.
Facts, facts, facts.
Since you brought up your father and his musical collection, that spurred a question. What is the first like song or album that you remember being played by your parents that maybe you hated as a kid but you love now?
I can't say I hated really anything. I was just like a sponge.
Yeah.
I was like, I love everything. But like, I can say Bob Marley's Legend album was like it. And anytime like I listen to that, I'm like, those are like the good parts of like my childhood.
Yeah.
And it's so like, you know, my parents didn't speak. I mean, they didn't speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad, I mean, he learned his you know, his way around. He's pretty good, but you hear him singing with like a Jamaican accent and stuff. And we would do road trips when we were moving here, and sometimes like my great aunt would ride with us, and she's singing it, and she definitely don't know Spanish, like I mean English at all. So it's just funny how like, you know, music transcends all like barriers at the end of the day.
Bob
Muy
Marley.
interesante.
Nigga tell you do a lingo.
I am.
What was that song or album for you?
For me, the first song I remember, my initials are like DJ, and so Space Jam, because in that song Space Jam, hey DJ, turn it up, and every time I heard that, I thought they were talking to me. So like I remember that song. I remember the Montel Jordan CD in the house. But as far as my parents, they're older, so I remember they had the actual CD, this track. What is it called? I can't think of it. 8-track. That's what I'm trying to say right now. Had the actual 8 tracks, the albums, the big boys. And so we had Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind & Fire, Temptations. Again, I'm a child. I'm in there trying to scratch it on the needle. But I remember those albums. Those were what they played early mornings, cleaning up and things of that nature. And I loved it then. I didn't hate any of it. The only disdain I had was when I was trying to get into rap, and my parents were like, we ain't listening to that in the car. We ain't listening to that in the car. But outside of that, like their music was cool, and I definitely love it now. Like it's such a vibe. It's chill. Like I want to relax. So how about yourself?
For my parents, I think the music that I most like, I wouldn't say hate it, but you know, you're a kid, you want to hear what you want to hear. But my mom will always play, it was 2 artists, Mary J., who I absolutely love. Mary J. is better than Beyonce. We can debate it if we want to. And Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Okay.
So those are the 2, like, even now I can put on, and it just takes me back to a place of nostalgia. So
Zap, you ever heard of Zap Roger?
yeah.
That's the one. My mom loved them. And I think that was like the first auto-tune-ish type.
I Want to Be a Man.
That computer love.
Yeah.
that one do it too. I gotta play that after this show now that I'm thinking about it.
We're gonna have a party after this. Y'all.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
All right, so for your music, what is it like just financially to shoot videos, to, you know, fund your dream, and then, you know, the mental of the creation and, you know, trying to get people to support you? If you are trying to get people to support you, maybe you're more of like, if they support, they support. If they don't, they don't. Can you take us or give us a breakdown of what that is like, a day in the life of an artist?
Yeah. So I told y'all earlier, right? Like I work a 9 to 5. It takes a lot out of me. But it's the thing that funds my dreams, right? So it's like, I think at first I didn't map everything as great as I could have, just because I was just ready to kind of put stuff out there, and then you realize like how much builds up, right? Because it's like you're recording, so you need to pay for like studio time, you know, and however per hour you need to pay, right? And then, you know, you need to pay for mixing and mastering your tracks. Like the music video alone is not cheap. And just think, you know, the people that you have in your videos, like trying to find ways, if you can't pay them, like gifts that you can do, food, like drinks, like all of those things to like encompass the whole experience. I think people really need to take into account and plan for it in advance. Literally, you're, you know, on a regular, like, save for it, because if it's something that you want to continuously do, like, you got to put it aside as a pocket of your dream. You know what I mean? Like, some people pay or save for travels, and, you know, that's its own little window. But I think I would create just because, like, I needed to. Like, I felt it, like, within me. And I've been really lucky to have friends that have, like, really supported me and, like, believed in me, even sometimes more than, like, I would believe in myself.
Yeah.
You know? There'll be times that they'll be like, if you don't put it out, I'm going to put it out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this is for real. I really got to do it.
Yeah.
My artist, I'm sensitive about my shit, man. You know?
Yeah, because sometimes I'm a perfectionist, so I always think, like, there's more that I could do. It could be better. It could be better. And it's like, in retrospect, sure, it can be better, but it was my best at that time, and I loved it at that time. So just go for it and stop overthinking. Yeah. And I'm Miss Queen Overthinker. So that's, like, all the things that kind of, like, go in mind. But I also studied marketing in school.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You got that in common.
Even though I don't work in it day to day.
Yeah.
I kind of used those tactics to try to curate my content that way. And
the rollout was fire. I really liked the rollout. Yeah, the rollout was fire.
And cool thing is, like, my engineer, he also studied marketing, like, at UNC Charlotte. So not only will we record and stuff, and then after we'll talk about, okay, so what's the plan to, like, roll it out? Like, this makes sense, this doesn't. I think this is better. So that's been really cool to have, like, 2 in 1.
Yeah. That's dope.
Awesome. What is your favorite song that you have released? Mine is, was it No Encore, I think? That you've released, and is there any song that you would be mind giving our listeners a snippet of?
Oh,
on the spot. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But the thing, let's build this up a little bit, cause Dan raps as well. He has a page at Dan Raps. Follow the Dan at Dan Raps if you want to see his raps. But he's got a SoundCloud that's public. I mean, he likes freestyling. So if you want to just give us a little la 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 la,
I don't know.
I'll add some background, and y'all can, like, cook up something. You know,
if I do, you gotta do.
Yeah, if you gonna make her put on the spot, we putting Dan Raps on the spot,
Thank
man.
you
first.
For that.
Got you. Crazy, your boys, your boys.
I would say, as far as my favorites, I would say my favorite is, like, my just released one, No Encores, because I think I got, like, creative with it. You know what I mean? And just, like, the background in the beginning, and we added snippets from my birthday party that was a few weeks before, and he was like, you know, this might be a good idea to kind of add in, and just, like, other backgrounds that are in the chorus part that I just thought, I'm like, oh, that's, like, creative. Like, I'm proud of myself.
Can you tell people what it's about?
So it's basically about, you know, maybe you're with someone, or maybe you're thinking about ending something with someone, and you're trying to convince them, like, no, you're better without me. Like, you don't need me. Like, you know, figure out what you got on your own, but I'm not
it.
I'm not, like, it.
No encore. You can't spin the block.
Exactly.
I got you.
But of course, I mean,
you had your chance.
But sometimes it does take spinning the block to really, you know, you never realize what you have until it's lost. So, you know, if I spin the block,
come outside.
Yeah, you know,
come outside.
I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Worth It, that I did in my music video. That's, like, that's my baby. You know what I mean? It's 56 seconds of my baby or something like that. But I guess I can do a little something.
Let's hear it.
I hope you got your bars ready. Did you bring them with you?
You want me to freestyle?
I mean, you have a Dan Raps page, so I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah, after you got to make me feel.
Yeah.
I figure out.
We need a beat. I can pull out grinding on the table.
Nah. I'm gonna do something from the vault, man. I'm gonna do something fan favorite.
I'm ready. Let's see. Where am I gonna start? He can't love me. He can't love me. He can't love me better than I can. I'll be better than a man. Like I don't need one again.
Yeah.
Better.
Love.
That was good. That was good.
What you?
No,
nigga, come on in. What you doing?
I thought it was like she go.
No, you gotta build off of that. I
No,
want her to
go
keep
ahead.
going. The vocals in the background. I was on my puffy ad libs. Let me produce you, man. Let me produce you.
Oh man.
Never broke again records, man.
We need a table.
All right.
You can love me.
Do it again.
Okay.
Let's see.
I was vibing off that.
She can
He
sing.
can't love me. He can't love
Never
me
broke
better
again.
than I can. I'll be better than a man.
Another one.
Like I don't need one again.
Hitmaker.
Better. I said, think I like me instead. Better.
Why you
But
trying to run away from love,
again,
love? Am I not
want
good
me
enough? I will do
instead.
anything just for you,
Yeah,
just for us.
you
We can make
know
this happen
that.
because I always
See,
keep you
I
laughing
don't
and you
need you,
always keep me
better
smiling. I be
off
tripping, I be
with
wilding, but you took
me,
care of
yeah.
the stress.
See ya.
That's it. That's all they get now. That's all they get, man. That's all they get now.
Don't you?
That's all
On
they
the
get now.
spot.
That's all they get,
At
man.
Dan Raps at Cardi B.
Underscore
Shady.
Dan Raps, you
Oh,
know what I'm saying? But now you want to hear what
Wait,
rappers?
for
Yeah, that's
what?
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good. Good.
But before you get out of here, we're gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions. You gotta answer. Okay. What do you believe that others think is insane?
What do I? Wait, say that?
What do you believe that others think is insane?
That mayonnaise. Well, maybe it's some people, but mayonnaise is really good. Like you need mayonnaise.
Hell nah.
What you mean? Like I could eat like
Cake?
toast with mayonnaise.
Pardon?
Toast?
Pardon?
Mayonnaise toast?
Yeah, I'm like I like. And I think it was because of my mom. Like, we just both really like bread.
Tu madre?
And sometimes you just got mayonnaise.
Pan y
And
mayonnaise?
she would be like, butter breaks you out. So
Mayonnaise is better.
Mayonnaise is a substitute for butter?
That's
All right,
crazy.
we ain't judging. This
Yeah,
is a
we're not
judge-free. This
judging.
is
We're
safe
not
zone.
judging.
You ain't on
Safe
trial.
zone.
You ain't on trial.
Safe zone.
I think I went there with it.
That's a clip for sure.
For sure, she's wilding. That's okay.
Oh my
Who
God.
or what inspires you?
I would say no one in like specific, right? Because it's always like, oh, these artists and that artist. I would say I do love Aaliyah. You know,
That's
I'll
a good choice.
live and die on that hill. I love Aaliyah to death. But I think it's just the overall of like just these different, just regular everyday people who like had a dream and like fought for it no matter what, and like created like just these masterpieces of art, even if they got nothing else out of it. Like, I mean, Lauryn Hill, you know, made one album and like,
It's classic. Can't beat it.
wow. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all she needed to ever really make. And I think that's just so powerful.
That's a good answer. If you had to give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Wow. I would say see everybody as their own people, specifically like family, because I think it would just make for an easier time to not take things so personally, and just it would help it would have helped me to be on a faster track to healing.
I like that. Cardi B, let the people know where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on all social media, __3, Carrie.B on TikTok, Instagram, not really Twitter like that. But yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, Dan. You want to?
Thank you. This has been another episode of the Dan and Danny Show. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Facts.
And we see y'all next time.
Shout out to the patrons.